this story has turned a little bit bitter for me in my life, until a point that I couldn't even watch this fight anymore.
Wow.
It got that bad. I couldn't even watch the fight anymore.
That's interesting. So, so 23 years later, you finally basically want to speak out about it now, right?
And actually, there was something I wanted to talk to you about today, about regarding this movie, Who Am I, and regarding my stunts. Actually, it is an amazing story, but this story has turned a little bit bitter for me in my life, until a point that I couldn't even watch this fight anymore.
Wow.
It got that bad. I couldn't even watch the fight anymore.
That's interesting. So, so 23 years later, you finally basically want to speak out about it now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a little bit emotional, but the thing is that 23 years ago, we did Who Am I? Great movie, and there was a documentary which shows that I'm not as good as people maybe think.
Smoorenburg, the necessary sense of timing and distance to ensure a safe yet dynamic duel taxes even Jackie's patience.
And it put me in a very bad light. And I never kind of resisted it because I always respect Jackie.
Someone who I've looked up to, someone who has defined what being an international, global star is.
And I kind of let it go, but it started coming back at me. These things like you've been doubled, or you couldn't pick up the rhythm and stuff. But I'm going to explain. I want to clear this forever right now, because I try to forget about it, but it's always coming back at me, and it's getting worse and worse.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
So the point where I said, okay, now I have to do this, was this week. So I posted the fight with Jackie Chan on my channel. Because I'm developing my channel, I put a lot of positive things in there. And there was this guy saying, okay, Ron, you are that guy who kicked Jackie straight in the face. Ha, ha, ha. And another guy, oh, they doubled the hell out of you. Now, so I kind of analyzed it. And I was like, no, I think they doubled Jackie more than me in that fight, but nobody knows that.
Make sure to check out a video on Ron's page where he basically pointed out every time Jackie Chan was doubled and every time he was doubled, and the end score, and he kind of made the video like a video game, which is pretty cool, but the end score is quite revealing.
So today I want to clarify something, but I also want to tell you a beautiful story. That actually this is a beautiful thing. In a positive way, right? We have to always keep
always look for that silver lining, man. I always try to focus more on the positive. It's easy to focus on the negative and get lost and drown in it even. So it's there's something still positive in something, or at least it can lead to something positive, right? Like any failure somebody has just in general in life, it's like look at that as the learning opportunity and build yourself up. Any successful person has failed numerous times. They've just gotten up. It's when you don't get up, that's it. Then you're a real failure, right?
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
But that's why you got to keep getting back up.
I think you're right. I think the sacrifice for me was this. The sacrifice to jump so high. Never done a movie before. Jump so high into this level. Fighting Jackie Chan in your first movie. This was the sacrifice. And it kept me humble for all those years. It made me a fighter. I had the task like, okay, this is never going to happen to me again. I want to fight every movie star possible to get as much experience as I can. And if I am this retard, I will talk more about that. If I'm this retard, they make me look like. That's good news for everyone then. That means everybody can do this, right? If I'm that stupid, then everybody could do this. And why they don't do that stuff? So I'm going to explain it in detail for you. One thing I want to be very clear with you. I don't want to use, for example, Jackie Chan to make myself famous, or I don't want to play a victim. I like to actually tell you guys a beautiful story. in a positive way.
Yeah, no,
You know,
certainly.
because yeah, I know I can talk bad like about Jackie and this. I just tell you objectively what happened, and people can make their own conclusion. So this is not like a Jackie Chan rant or something, or I want to get famous on his dead body or something. Never. I respect Jackie. I love Jackie. I saw the young master when I was young, and that's the reasons why I start training. So you cannot talk bad where you come from.
Yeah, that's true. Real quick question for you, Ron. Have you
Yes.
ever worked with Jackie again since Who Am I, or was this just like a one and done, at least with Jackie Chan?
That's a very interesting question. And actually, they promised, like, you're going to be in Police Story Part 5 after Who Am I? And there were some promises. And it never happened. And I think they kind of avoided me, to be honest. I felt I almost like blacklisted in Hong Kong.
Wow.
And if you know of those gatekeepers there, I'm going to talk about that more. They control the whole market there. And they kind of enjoy it, you know, if you get radicalized and it's not their friends who's playing in the movies. I'm going to reveal something today for this channel, which hopefully, this is the goal, help other actors to learn from this and to, you know, to adapt and to learn from this story. And I'm okay. I'm strong enough to be sacrificed for this. That's what's happened.
Wow.
And I'm strong enough. I maybe needed that. I needed the kick under my ass. And like, Ron, keep going. And this actually becomes a very beautiful story.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna love to hear it. I know the audience is gonna love to hear it too. This is a fascinating, kind of important story in the history of martial arts films, and also your personal emotional journey through it. And again, I think it's really going to be something a lot of people are going to enjoy listening to and hearing about.
It's a natural. This is a story that must be told.
Yeah, well, there's actually a few parts. Like there's the part during the fight, there's the part after, and there's the part before. And actually, maybe I can tell you something about the part before. Maybe that's nice to start with, so people can understand the situation more when I got into this fight.
Yeah, full context for sure. I think you even referenced it in an email to me. Are you talking about like the elevator ride up to the roof of that building and what happened just before everything started?
Yes. So I can tell you in a very powerful way how I got into this. I always wanted to play action movies, and I got a little bit ridiculized for that. Like, you can't do that, right? And I always loved Van Damme, still love Van Damme. Always.
Oh yeah, always, man.
Tried to make movie fights. I got this record, The Highest Kick, and we did demos. And then my boss told me, "Hey Ron, Jackie is in Holland. He's doing this movie. Who am I? I think you should write them." I said, "Okay, can I have half day off?" So I got half day off. I was graphic designer. So I just made up a cover of a movie, like I'm some kind of movie star. I was a graphic designer, right? You have to create yourself.
Yeah, sure.
And I sent it to the casting in Rotterdam, Holland. And they said, yeah, we got thousands of applications, and I kept calling them. So I became an extra on the set, and my boss got a little bit worried, like maybe I need to be a lot of days on the set. But I said, sorry, this is my dream. Yeah. And he got worried. So I became an extra. And if you look really careful in Who Am I? In the scene where you see the building for the first time, the Netloyd building in Rotterdam, there's a guy walking there with a suitcase. And that's me. I was still an extra at that time.
Yeah.
You know, I was still an extra.
So Ron actually started out as merely an extra on Who Am I, but he ended up fighting Jackie Chan at the end of the film, and that's an amazing fight scene. It's actually a really cool story behind how that whole thing transpired, and there were some obstacles along the way, which we're going to talk about now. That elevator ride basically is kind of the start of where you probably thought, something kind of fishy or negative is kind of going on.
Yeah, so what happened was, that's interesting, because I was an extra and the Dutch stuntmen were there. The Dutch stuntmen, so it was not a Jackie Chan stuntman. And I told about my dream, and they were a little bit laughing, and they said, you have to go to the Dutch stunt team. So I asked one of the main guys from the Dutch stunt team, like, can I do some fight scenes? I just have the record, Highest Kick. Yeah. And they were laughing. They said, man, who are you? Literally, who are you? jump from this building, 26th floor. If you can do that, maybe we give you something. But the thing was, they were a little bit frustrated because Jackie's team, right? They are so good. They almost do everything.
Sure.
Right? They are much better in car stunts. They're much better in fighting. And they needed some foreigners, but yeah, Jackie Chan team is another level. So they were a little bit frustrated already. And this guy coming from nowhere, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and then started to ask stuff. And then it was my last day as an extra, and I didn't know what to do. And one guy from the Jackie team told me, you know what? Give me your videotape, like a showreel. And we spoke about it, and he was the only one I could talk to because he's the bald guy. You see him in a lot of old Jackie Chan movies, like Wheels on Meals. The bald guy, this very small guy. You'll find him, and it would be nice to show him because I'm very thankful to this man. And he was the one said, Ron, give me a showreel. And I said, what is a showreel? I didn't even know, right? He said, well, that's a tape of all your stuff. So I made that. And I had the cover already because I'm designing. But I really made like a professional tape. At that time, we have the cassettes. Remember the VHS?
Sure.
And I brought it the next day, just before I had to go for my last day as an extra. And they watched that tape. They had a break. Jackie Chan was there. They had a lunch break. And one of those guys put it in the video recorder and showed it. And they were probably like, what is this? You know? Well, that guy is on the set. So they called me over. And they had this meeting in this room. And everybody was sitting there. Like a proper meeting with like 3-4 cameras on me. And okay, and now you show that in real life. Like, so I did my leg holding. I have the leg holding.
Yeah, that's very impressive, man. Anybody who could do that, ever since I seen Jean-Claude Van Damme was the first one I've ever seen do that, I'm like, that is really cool.
Read it. Wolverine, between the lines.
But you've done it like at a even higher hold than I've ever seen. Yours is just like straight out ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not, to be honest, in Who Am I, you see 180. It's a little bit like 170 degrees. It's a little bit the angle.
Close enough.
Yeah, I couldn't walk after that shot, by the way. It was very painful. I stretched till the maximum. But yeah, but I did that in the casting.
No, that's cool.
And it's like some
impress people.
some combos and stuff. And I had this kind of form. I was the first guy in Holland who did karate on music, like musical forms. I was the first one who ever did that.
Oh.
And I had this on tape too. So I did a little bit of that, like on Eye of the Tiger, like pam, 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 like on Eye of the Tiger. And then Sam Wong and Munching Man, 2 stuntmen, came forward. They did a kind of fight scene. And they said, now you have to replace one of them. And believe it or not, that was exactly like the demo fights we do. Like some reaction, like bam, and then back, whoop, and then back into it. And it went like this. So they were like, okay,
cool, man.
It was literally like this. And 5 minutes later, there was an old guy coming to measure my measurements. And I said, what's going on? And he said, you don't know. I said, I don't know. He said, well, you have the end fight in this movie. You are the best out of 20 guys doing audition for this fight. Like guys who auditioned maybe in Hong Kong or international. Yeah. You are the best guy. We want you. You're going to have the main fight. And I was like, really?
Rocky, I've got a proposition I'd like to make to you.
That's amazing. So it was like a dream come true. Because I always said it, I want to play movies, right? And nobody believed me. So it's actually a beautiful story, David.
No, it really is. You know what quote I always like? Because some people might say you got lucky, but basically luck is when, no, here's the thing. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So you've been preparing for years, if not, probably a decade or more, preparing. Yeah. And then you finally got your opportunity. And people might call that luck. It's like, yes and no, not really, though, because this dude was ready. He just needed that opportunity. And the opportunity finally came 10, 15 years after training, and you're doing all these fights yourself anyway, just for fun with your friends. So it's like, yeah, people may call it luck, but the definition I gave you, that's what luck is. This guy, the opportunity came and he was just ready for it, and it worked out, which is an awesome story.
Yeah. Well, then, so I thought, like, this is amazing. I couldn't believe it. I had to squeeze myself. But then that good things in life always have a counterpart, right? It's always, You create something and there's an uncreator coming. So then it really started, like real life started. So remember the stunt team who were laughing about me, right? Like you have to jump from the building, and they found out I got the main part. So one of the first days, we didn't do the fight yet. There were some scenes when we walk in the hallway before that fight starts. So there was still a chance for those guys to take my part, and they tried that. They stole my suit. And one time, they called me like, you have to come to set very quick. There's some problem. And I came, and they were already in my suit. They stole my suit. And they said, now we got your part. You lost it. And they were laughing so loud. And we were in the same elevator. Can you believe that? Being in an elevator with a few guys, big guys. I was skinny and small, right? I was like coming out of an egg, right? Those were buff guys. And I got a little bit bigger, but now it will be a different story if I see them.
Right? So basically, they're just like saying, "Oh, your part's gone. We took your part."
Yeah.
Which were they just joking, or do you think there was some truth to that?
Oh, that was real. They had my suit on, and they said, "Now we're going upstairs. You lost it." That's it. They were very serious.
Scary.
That was nasty. Yeah, it's almost like a movie scene, and those.
Yeah, it sounds like
whatever. Yeah, like 30 seconds going up this elevator. For me, it was like 10 minutes. It was time stood still. Like my dream is gone.
Yeah, just
and
like
they were
that,
laughing.
gone. It's like, ooh.
Yes. So that's how it started. And then the other guy, so Jackie saw him in the suit and said, no, take it off. Ryan's here. I take it off. And he's going to do this. So, and he didn't want to take it off. That was funny. He didn't want to take it off.
Wow.
And then the other guy started to come at me. You know, why'd you start to do the scene with Jackie? Let's do some low kicks. Let's swap a few low kicks. And that guy was a proper kickboxer. In Holland, you know, they're quite good, those guys.
Yeah, the Dutch kickboxers.
Yeah, tough.
No joke, man.
They are the real deal. So that guy wanted to exchange low kicks, just to make me weaker. And it's almost too ridiculous to make this up. This is almost.
No, it just sounds like a movie. It's like, here you go with this part in this opportunity, and then it's taken away.
Yes.
And then the guy's like kicking you to make you weaker.
Sweep the leg.
It's like, man, I mean, obviously the Dutch stunt team was really jealous because they do that for a living. And then here's this guy seemingly coming out of nowhere and basically doing something better than anything they got to do, you know? So yeah, I could see the jealousy for sure, man.
Well, I contacted one of those guys, like, I think 5 years ago. And I said, hey, how are you? You know, you were from the movie Jackie Chan. He said, I would never expect that you would contact me. One of those guys, the guy with the low kicks.
Sure.
I said, yeah, man, it's okay. You know, now we're years later and it's okay. You know, I can forgive you guys about this. And he said, yeah, sorry. But yeah, at that time we were really angry at you. Like, you got that part and we all wanted that. And we really wanted to, you know, we almost wanted to beat you up. Like we hated you, Ron. We hated you for that. And later you find that back in different forms. And I'm going to talk about that with the online stuff, but you find that back. So if things like my stunts are coming out, right, some people would love that. But I'll get back to that later.
Sure.
And then actually that fight happened of Jackie just one day before I had to go to a holiday with my girlfriend. And we had this 5-year relationship and she broke up with me. Like the day before the fight.
So did she break up because you weren't able to go on the vacation with her because you're like, look, I got this opportunity to be in a Jackie Chan movie. Like, I can't give that up. I mean, with me as a guy, logically, I'm like, look, man, we could just do that vacation later, you know, but women are a little different. You know?
Yeah. No, I had to choose. And I even had her mom on the phone. Like, you have to talk to my daughter right now and you have to choose one. You go or not. And I tried to fix it later. I could never fix it. I lost my relationship. I lost my job too.
Yeah, your job and your relationship. Wow.
Yeah, and my best friends, the karate partners, who always were my partners.
Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Oh. So that part, doesn't make as much sense to me. Like, were they jealous too, like the Dutch stunt team? Really? Because they should be proud that one of their own made it. And if anything, you could help them later make it. Like, that's how they should see it. It's like, look, Ron made it. He's one of us. You know, and if he's doing stuff in the industry, he could maybe help us later. Just like Jackie Chan has his own team. Ron could have his own team. That's
well, I just, you're right. Exactly. That's positive thinking. That is what the secure people would think. Now, it was so bad.
Exactly.
That on the birthday party, I wanted to show this fight, right, with Jackie Chan. And this guy, particularly my partner, walked away. He couldn't watch it. He couldn't even see it and say, this is great. He couldn't watch it. And then when my stunts came out, he bought that tape and gave it to everybody like a birthday present for people to see how bad I was behind the scenes.
Oh, the documentary. So it's like, oh, that's what he wants to share with everyone. Hey, look, Ron's not that good, guys.
Smoorenburg the necessary sense of timing and distance to ensure a safe yet dynamic duel taxes even Jackie's patience. Though Smoorenburg's ability to execute the required movements improves, he still proves unable to execute certain sequences with the correct rhythm.
Yes, that's so nasty. You know? So nasty. It's terrible. Sorry, but it becomes almost funny, you know. But
yeah, it's crazy.
This is life, guys.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Man. Like the story behind it is more interesting than the story in the movie.
Yeah. Now the good thing is, people like this in your life, right? Everybody have this person in his life. So please, if people listen, think about your own life and try to compare. Everybody have this person in his life, like the naysayers, or you know, those people. They can be very close to you, right? But actually, those events were the best preparation for me for the movie business. Those events.
Yeah.
And it's tough, but that's life, guys. Like as Rocky said, life hits hard, no?
It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
That's it.
I mean, it's better to get those people filtered out sooner rather than later, because eventually they're either going to keep you down with them.
Yes.
You know, it's good that they get filtered out eventually.
Yep, and that's what I'm doing now, and I have videos about that, and you have to recognize it. And life is so different, guys and girls. If you choose the right people around you, choose the secure ones around you. Secure people. Insecure ones.
People who want you to succeed and who are succeeding themselves so they can elevate you, and then you're succeeding and you could elevate them. Like, that's what you need, man. Positivity builds positivity, and negativity builds, you know, negativity and drowns so many people in racism. And that's why there's so many jealous people out there. You know, they don't want you to succeed because they have it. And if they see somebody else succeed, they'll see themselves as a bigger failure, because then they know for a fact, like, somebody in their close circles, like, hey, this guy actually made it. I did. Now I really feel like a failure. So, you know, on that aspect, you know, human nature makes them feel even worse about themselves. So then they want to basically, you know, insult you.
You're right about that. And after all those events, all those years, this becomes almost like a theory, because it's getting confirmed. First you are surprised, right? The first year, it's like, why these people are like that? Surprised. It happens so much that it becomes almost like a theory. It becomes almost like something which is acknowledged, which is real, like what you just said. Like that, I can confirm that. There's a lot of great people too. I have to keep it positive. There's, for example, guys like Mark Stas.
There's always that positivity side, you know, silver lining.
Mark Stas. There's a lot of great guys I work with and know, and we talk about, not about people. We talk about how to improve, how to do cool combos. We don't gossip. We don't like that. That is another road, which you might. I fell into this trap to defend myself in the past, and it's very wrong. So I just want to build. I don't want to destroy. And I hope to build others too with my experience, even if I was some sacrifice, as much as possible. So and then so that was the other side of the coin. And then you start to do the first scenes with Jackie, right? And on the set.
Yeah, things get even more interesting from there, guys. And that's going to be part 2 of this series with Ron's experience on the Jackie Chan film, Who Am I?